Aaron Rodgers, if I were him, I'd just hang it up because honestly, his best bet would be to stay in the NFC. If he goes to the AFC, it's not happening for him. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
I don't know if you can say that because if we like we talked about, if he goes to Denver, that core of weapons, we got to remember that he's out there fighting with only Devontae Adams, pretty much. Aaron Jones, hit or miss, but he's out there fighting with only Devontae Adams. If you go to Denver, you're fighting with, because they already signed Cortland Sutton. They signed Cortland Sutton. They signed Tim Patrick. I don't even know if the roster would allow them to get Adams, but if you add Adams,
you got Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, you add Adams with Jerry Jeudy, and I would like to keep both Melvin Gordon and the young Javonte Williams. If you keep that together, that's crazy. Like, Rodgers doesn't have to do anything. That running game was almost dominant by itself with a BS quarterback. Even if you only bring in Adams to go with Sutton, that offense is probably going to be one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL, like, period.
But check this out.
Noah Fant, too. Don't forget Fant over the middle.
I got you. But here's the difference. The AFC West is not the NFC North. You have competent teams in the AFC West. You're not going to be playing the Vikings, Bears, and Lions all year. You're going to be playing a much improved Chargers team. You're going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs twice a year. And then you're going to play a better Raider team, too.
But they have to play him, too. So the one thing that I will say is, look at you're right, better competition, but better weapons too. Because what Aaron Jones does is great, but Melvin Gordon can do just as much as Aaron Jones passing out the backfield. Javonte Williams is better than any backup on that Green Bay team. Cortland Sutton is better than any receiver outside of Devontae Adams. You put Devontae Adams and Cortland Sutton together, and with Jerry Jeudy, he's there because he's a rookie. Tim Patrick is already there. You don't even need MVS. If you can get Devontae Adams, you got 4 receivers and a tight end, unstoppable. You have 2 running backs. Even if they have to get rid of Gordon, you can bring in another running back. Hell, Mike Boone can do that passing stuff too. But that offense is dynamic. That defense is already good. You know what I mean? That defense is already legit. I think that team, what they did this year without a competent quarterback, I like Teddy, but Teddy isn't dynamic.
You put he's not what he used to be. The injuries have caught up to him too.
Yeah, you put Aaron Rodgers in that offense with the defense that they have already. That team is legit. That team is more complete than the Chiefs. I don't care what you say. That team is more complete than the Chiefs.
I can't sign off on that, OG. I refuse to sign off on that because I think they're more, you got to check this out. There are holes in the defense in Denver.
Where though?
Mainly
linebacker, and it's interior
front too.
It's
which they can address that in the draft or in free agency.
And didn't they trade? They traded for the kid at the end of the year. They even addressed that. They traded for the linebacker for the Rams that was starting. And he went out and got hurt because the Rams had an excess of inside linebackers. I can't remember which one it was, but they traded for the starter from the Rams at the beginning of the year. A young kid is only in his second year. Mm-hmm. And they also had some injuries up front and in the linebacking core. So that's not saying next year when they get healthy or what they may do in free agent to tie up some of that stuff, because they weren't that bad. At the beginning of the year, they were better than the end of the year. And that was a lot because of injuries.
Look, I'll say this, and this is, I ain't trying to sound like a hater, OG,
but you do.
I mean, I may, but I'm gonna come with logic and facts though too. Aaron Rodgers had the Packers choking now. With better competition, I think he needs, if he has a chance of winning another Super Bowl, he needs to stay in the NFC.
I think that right now you're discounting what Aaron Rodgers is doing with the lack of talent. So yes, he's playing against some bums, but he also has a lot of bums on his team. I remember when we talked about the team at the beginning of the year, we didn't think that they would go that far.
Green Bay?
Yes.
They go that far every year. Every single year.
I mean, true, but look what they're working with. They didn't even have Tanyan. They didn't even have like a second receiver for most of the year. They only have Devontae Adams. So you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones is 95% of that offense. So you're telling me if you put him in a Denver system that is full of weapons and he doesn't have to carry the workload that he's been carrying, like that's the same thing if you say you take Tom Brady, what he's been doing all his career, and you put him with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. It's just going to look unfair, and you give him a defense. That's the same thing we're talking about.
I just think the AFC is too stacked. I think you can give him all the weapons in the world. At the end of the day, I just can't see him handling the Chiefs like that twice a year. It'll be an offensive shootout in all the games he plays, but I really think that defense is going to haunt the Denver Broncos. I really do. And then the thing
you got more faith in. You can't tell me you got more faith in Josh Allen than you do Aaron Rodgers.
No, I ain't talking about Josh Allen. I got more faith in Patrick Mahomes than I do Aaron Rodgers.
But I'm saying you saw what Josh Allen just did with Gabriel Davis and a defense. So you can't tell me that you put Aaron Rodgers on the other side of that with Courtland Sutton, Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, Noah Fant, that he just going to be out here getting smoked by the Chiefs.
I get your point. Play defense. But who is the common denominator in all that? Patrick Mahomes, even though I hate his brother, I don't even know his brother. That makes no sense. Let me stop fanboying. But Patrick Mahomes, my homeboy, is the common denominator. I don't see Aaron Rodgers getting past.
But can the Chiefs stop? Can the Chiefs stop that offense that we're talking about in Denver? No. And we've seen the Chiefs struggle this year, especially against good quarterbacks. Like, it's not like that the Chiefs are facing a large number of quality quarterbacks in themselves. Like, Herbert is good, but Herbert is young, and Herbert makes some bad decisions sometimes. You got Derek Carr, but we know what Derek Carr is. You know what I'm saying? You facing Teddy Bridgewater. You know, it's not like that the Chiefs are just going against these dominant offenses. You're adding Aaron Rodgers to that division. That's a whole different level. And that Denver defense is legit. Like, it's gonna be different. You know, that's a different animal, bro.
The Aaron Rodgers will have the greatest regular season stats with that offense and that team, but we all know the playoffs are his kryptonite. You're not going to be playing the Cowboys in the first round no more. You're going to be playing teams like the Chiefs, like the Titans. I'm telling you, I just don't think that you're giving him credit for it.
So let me ask you this. This is where I'm going to end the conversation.
Okay.
When is the last time that Aaron Rodgers had a legit second receiver? And who was it?
Man, I want to say if we're talking second receiver, it has to be either Jordy Nelson or Randall Cobb. And that was probably...
You're wrong. You know who it was? Fucking Devontae Adams with Jordy Nelson. That's how far we go.
But see, Devontae Adams the number one receiver, though. You said number two receiving option.
He's the number one now. But he was the number two with Jordy Nelson. That's the last time That's the last time he had two weapons. It's Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams. That's how far.
And then you got to think of this. And I'm all right. I get you. I got you. But I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna leave it alone as well. You don't know what the Broncos would have to give up if they trade for Aaron Rodgers. So they might not even have Jerry Jeudy or Noah Fant or somebody like that.
But you got to remember that he negotiated that salary. He negotiated that he's out. That's
so he could be a free agent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they're not gonna have to give up much. My bigger concern is how much would they have to pay him, and if he's willing to take a pay cut, because I don't know what the Denver Broncos salary cap is like, and I don't know now. Would he take less money to be able to get Devontae Adams there, because Devontae Adams is coming for the bag, and they already paid Courtland Sutton, and they gave Tim Patrick a contract. Tim Patrick contract is reasonable, but if you're giving him the inside slot receiver $40 million, and you already paid Courtland Sutton, like, can you afford to give Devontae Adams 18 to 20 million? Because I know Devontae's coming for 20 to 25. Because you got Hopkins making like 20, you got Julio that got that 20, and you got Colston.
Yep.
Colston, and he's definitely got to make more than Cooper. So for Devontae Adams, as dominant as he's been, Devontae got to be looking at 22, 23 million. Can the Denver Broncos do that? If they do, they're probably going to have to get rid of Melvin Gordon, I assume. They already moved Von Miller, but how much cap can they move around to be able to sign Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, and how much of a pay cut? That's the difference with me, because I think that they can make it happen, but what would you have to give up to sign, and what is Aaron Rodgers willing or not willing to take?
Yeah, truth be told, man, I think the best spot for him, if they move on from Jimmy G, will be San Francisco.
I mean, that's an excellent spot.
That's a dream spot for him. But anywho, let's talk about these matchups this weekend, because I know we got 10 minutes of the show left. Let's go after our heated debate about Aaron Rodgers and how I have no faith in him whatsoever. I mean,
that's definitely hate.
Look, he one of the greatest quarterbacks of this generation. I will say that.
Well, you can't say that and then.
But I have no confidence in him right now.
He's gonna fail. That's
moving on. I'm right. You wrong. Whatever. We'll see.